Hello, my name is Samantha Cohen. I want to apologize right up front for the camera quality, but other than that, I want to jump straight into the interview questions. I'm excited to get started here. So, number one, I tell us about yourself and your family. So, I am a theater person, in every way, shape, and form. I live, breathe, eat, sleep theater. It's something that I've always been really passionate about. I am a drama club representative at my college that I attend, which is Lower Columbia College here in Longview, Washington. And speaking of, I will be, this was my first year at Lower Columbia College, and at the end of this year, I will have completed a year with a 4.0 GPA, which is something I'm very proud of, and I feel like is a big achievement. And my family's been very supportive throughout the entire process, both with college and with theater. So transitioning straight into family, my mother's a medical assistant and my father is a zoologist. So he's really helped build my love for nature, my love for animals, my love for the outdoors. So we actually used to go on trips where we would, after school, because he's an honors biology teacher at my local high school. He teaches advanced placement biology because he's a very much science oriented. But after school or on the weekends, we would go and we would adventure outdoors. We would go look at animal tracks, and the thing that was most interesting for me is we would take a magnifying glass and look at like spider webs, something I've always been really interested in. I grew up with all sorts of weird pets. I used to have a pet tarantula, I had a pet toad, I had snakes, and then the usual, cats and dogs. I had goats at one point, but so I've grown up with all sorts of weird animals, which has really contributed to who I am as a person, which is very much animal oriented, very much nature oriented, and very much outdoors oriented. So it's something that I've always been really passionate about and really enjoyed. The 5 words that somebody would use to describe me, I believe, are motivated. I like to be a motivator, and I very much get an objective in my head and I go for it. I don't want to hold back. I don't get caught up in the what ifs. I just like to put my foot out there, and if something goes wrong, then we'll deal with it when we deal with it. I am passionate. I very much like to be involved. I'm out there all the time. I'm an advocate politically for like animals, and I'm very much I'm interested in the things I'm interested in, and once I get my mindset on something, I'm not going back. There's nothing that you can do to make me lose that passion. I'm very energetic, which leads me into bubbly. I think that another word somebody would use to describe me is bubbly, because I can talk a mile a minute. I can hold a conversation, and I like to talk to people. Most people don't like customer service, but that's my favorite part about my job, or the jobs that I've had in the past, is customer service. It's something I've always enjoyed. I like talking. Another word that I think that people would describe me as is reliable. I'm very loyal to the people that I'm loyal to, and not just reliable with time management, but reliable in the sense that I'm not just going to do something with something in mind, but I'm going to do it with my whole heart, and I'm going to try to go above and beyond in every sense that I can. Another word that somebody would use to describe me would be ambitious. I set goals and I find my way to get to those goals. I want to go somewhere. I want to do something, like going back to me having a 4.0 GPA this year. Something I'm really proud of. I really struggled with school for a long time, and I found the thing that I like, which is science and theater, and I held on strong, and I have my goals, and I want to go somewhere in life, and I want to do something, and I want to be somebody. So that's something that is important to me. So the 5 words are motivated, passionate, bubbly, reliable, and ambitious. Leading me to the next question. Have you ever been to a camp or worked at a camp? Oh yeah, a whole variety. It's hard to narrow down exactly. They're all blending into each other, but I have been a counselor in a bunch of different environments, all volunteer. All the counseling work that I've done has been volunteer. The camps I've been to CISPIS, I've been to Nazarene, Church of the Nazarene. I was a counselor there, also a camper there. Same with Cispus. I did both. I was both a camper and a counselor. I've done little day, like 1 day excursions. I was a counselor for the dunes where I had kids in my room. In my cabin, I had 7 to 9 year olds, and I had 9 of them. And so that was something that was really fun for me. That's something I really enjoyed doing, and that's why I'm looking into this this year, being a camp counselor, because it was something I really enjoyed, and I didn't realize that I could do in like a more stable way, because it is seasonal and it is temporary, and I was too scared to really jump headfirst into it, but now it's something that just has been so fun to get started in, and I just really hope that I can continue to be involved in that sense. The major responsibilities of a counselor are there's the obvious ones, like, make sure they go to bed on time, make sure they wake up on time, make sure they brush their teeth, make sure they shower, make sure they're wearing clean clothes, make sure the generic stuff, make sure they eat. But going further than that, it's very much an emotional thing. It's very much an emotional connection. You have to be there for your campers in a sense of you can't say, "Oh, I'm too busy to hear you right now." Your main priority as a counselor should be to make sure that your campers feel safe and they feel comfortable. I want my campers to feel comfortable enough to come and talk to me. If they're being bullied, or if they see somebody being bullied, I want to be the person that they go to. I want to be the person that they're like, of course I'm going to go tell Sammy. I don't want it to be a question. I don't want it to be scary. I just want them to be happy and comfortable. My experience working with children, I'm a babysitter. I actually have a small business called Hounds and Home. I'm a pet/house sitter. And because of that, it really bleeds into also childcare. And so, although my main responsibility is as a house and pet sitter is to take care of houses and pets, a lot of the time I end up being involved in childcare. I've been a babysitter forever, like in the sense of, I watch the neighbors while their parents go to the grocery store, or I have a little niece. She's 3 years old. Her name's Penelope Sue, and I've always babysat for my niece's friends and my cousin and my cousin's friends, and just in the sense of every other weekend as from 10 years old to 18 years old, I've babysat for a different family or whatnot. So because of that, I have a wide variety of experience working with kids in that sense. Personal characteristics that I possess that would make me a good camp counselor are my energy. I think that if a camper watches their counselor be involved, then it'll make them want to be involved. I don't think that if they see somebody sitting to the side for every activity, they're not going to want to do it. You're a role model. You're the example of how they should be acting, and if you're not acting the way that you should be acting, they're not going to either. So I think that my energy, my involvement, my passion, I think that that'll bleed into something that will help me as a counselor. My last job, other than Hounds and Home, which I'm still currently doing, is Regal Cinemas. I started working there in March. I still currently work there, but I have a flexible schedule, so I would be able to leave for camp. But yeah, so I work at Regal. It's awesome. I love it. It's really great. I've had a really great work environment. I'm very much a team player, so being a team player has helped me a lot, and I have really good relationships with people there. The suggestion to management, I can't think of anything. Maybe we have bi-yearly meetings, so I guess the one thing that I could say is have some more meetings, make sure everybody's on the same page with that, because it's a time to be social. But other than that, I guess my biggest suggestion is I'd like to see more of them. It's awesome. I really like it. I've never had a bad experience with the workplace. The most important thing I'm looking for in an employer is communication. I want to be able to talk to my supervisor when I need clarification. I don't want it to be something that's scary or stressful. I want my employer to have the same thing with me. I want them to be comfortable and secure and feel okay that they can give me constructive criticism without me blowing up, because I'm not going to blow up. I like communication. I like hearing from people, and I like to know how I'm doing, and I like to update them on how I feel like I'm doing. So that's important. I already talked about my experience working and playing outdoors. I really like nature. I like hiking. The weather here is pretty awful, but during the summer I have a special spot that I go to that not a lot of people know about, that I like to hike and have picnics, and I really have always had a passion for nature and the outdoors. How we would feel being away from home for the entire summer is obviously that's scary, that's stressful, but way more than that, it's a chance to create a little bit more individualism. To be more independent, and I'm really excited for that. I would love to get out of the house and to be able to be active and to be involved, and that sounds like so much fun. I don't think that it's as frightening as a lot of people make it seem, especially at 18 years old, but I think that it's important to start growing your individualism. At this point in your life, it's really important to get out there and get started, and that's one way to do it, is to by investing in other people, investing in kids, helping them create their individualism at the same time you are. Um, if you could ask one question to our camp, what would it be? I guess that the only question that I would have is the chain of supervision. So I'm a supervisor to the campers, but is there anybody in between? Who's my supervisor above me, and then who's above them? Just what's the chain of command there? Who would I talk to, and whatnot? Because, like I said, communication is important to me. And then activities, obviously theater. I can pull out activities, I can pull out games, I can pull out skits, I can pull up warm-ups. There's a lot that I can do with theater. I would say that I have a wide variety of knowledge when it comes to theater and theater games and running those kinds of activities. I can dive headfirst into that and never run out of things to do. It would take me years to run out of things to do. And I've also been to drama camps. So because of that, I have experience with that in that variety. I worked at a ceramics shop for a while, Glazy Days Paint Your Own Pottery Studio, and so I have experience. I actually hosted the kids' birthday parties there, so not only do I have experience doing pottery and painting pottery, but I have experience teaching kids the correct way to do pottery and paint pottery, and how to talk to kids about it, and how to make sure that they're at their own comfort level and not be a helicopter person, because I know a lot of people, when they come into the studio to paint, they paint for their kids, or they do the ceramics for their kids, and I think it's important that they get their own creativity flowing and that they're able to be proud of it, and it's something that they'll take to college with them. It's something that they'll remember forever, so it's important that it has their own mark. So ceramics, and then I have a very basic understanding of wrestling and basketball. I did basketball for the statistics class, or I did statistics for the basketball team growing up, and I've always been good at math more than athletics, so that's why I did it in that regard. And then wrestling in the sense of I've been in plays that involve wrestling, and because of that I took a wrestling class. So I have a very beginner understanding, but I also, because of that, can teach a beginner level activity, because that's as far as my knowledge goes, and so I would know for a fact that I wasn't pushing kids too far. So what I believe that I will contribute to the summer camp is energy and passion and involvement. I would love to be involved in something like this. It looks so much fun, and I want to make an impact on campers' lives, and I just feel like I could contribute a lot of energy. I'm not going to run out halfway through. I'm not going to be done and hoping for a nap and hoping to be home in my bed, and like I know a lot of other people were, especially in the camps that I've been at. I'm always raring to go. I'm always ready to go, and I think that could really contribute a lot to the environment. So that positivity is really important. And thank you for listening to me ramble for the last 15 minutes. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate the opportunity. I would really love to work for Walton's Grizzly Lodge this summer as a camp counselor, and you have my contact information if you'd like to get a hold of me. So thank you again. And again, my name is Samantha Cohen, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this. So thank you.